How many times have you known exactly what to do, and still didn't do it? You had the plan, you had the knowledge, you thought it through, but nothing changed. Why? Because thinking doesn't change your life. Action does. The gap between where you are and where you want to be isn't filled with more thoughts. It's filled with movement, execution, decisions, discipline. The truth is, the world doesn't reward your ideas. It rewards what you do with them. Train the mind daily. Your mind is the command center of your entire life. Everything you do, how you speak, how you show up, how you lead, how you respond, starts with what's going on in your head. That's why the most successful people in the world treat their mind like a muscle. They don't just let it sit idle and hope for clarity or motivation. They train it intentionally, aggressively, and relentlessly. Every single day, before they touch their phone, before they check email, before the world has a chance to interrupt them, they take command of their mind. They feed it with focus, they align it with purpose, they prime it for power, whether it's through meditation, breathwork, visualization, powerful questions, or movement. They put themselves in a peak state by design, because they know, if you don't condition your mind, life will condition it for you. And life doesn't always play fair. The news, the noise, the negativity, it's all trying to hijack your thinking. But if you've trained your mind daily, you're not reactive, you're in control. You're proactive, sharp, and ready to attack the day instead of defend against it. This habit isn't just a personal growth strategy, it's survival in a high-performance world. Mental toughness, emotional resilience, laser focus. Those don't show up when you need them unless you've built them when it's quiet. That's the habit, that's the edge. That's how billionaires stay in the driver's seat, no matter what's happening around them. Your mind is the most powerful asset you own, but only if you take full control of it. The most successful people in the world understand that if they want to dominate in business, in leadership, in relationships, or in life, they have to start with mastering the space between their ears. That's why they train their mind every single day. It's not optional. It's not something they do when things are going well or when they feel like it. It's a non-negotiable part of their routine. They know that mindset isn't just part of success, it's the foundation of it. Without a trained mind, even the best strategies fail. Even the clearest goals get lost. The chaos of the world will eat you alive if you don't create internal order first. This mental training is not about thinking positive or repeating affirmations blindly. It's about conditioning. It's about programming the mind to default to focus, to courage, to discipline, to clarity. Especially when pressure hits, these people wake up and immediately shift their state. They do it with purpose. Some meditate, some do breathwork, some journal, some review their goals, others move their body with intense intention, but all of it serves one purpose, to prime the mind for performance. Because if you don't deliberately choose your thoughts, the world will choose them for you. If you don't direct your focus, distractions will own it. If you don't manage your state, stress and chaos will do it for you. They ask themselves empowering questions that shape their psychology. What am I grateful for? What am I committed to today? How can I move forward with power? They're not looking for easy answers. They're looking to activate their highest self. This is how mental habits are formed, not by accident, not by waiting, but by stacking reps, just like in the gym. You train your mind by doing it consistently, not perfectly. You don't wait until you feel good. You train even when it's hard, especially when it's hard, because that's when identity is forged. That's when the old version of you gets overwritten. When you train your mind daily, you change the way you see problems. Obstacles become puzzles, not walls. Criticism becomes feedback, not a threat. Delays become preparation, not defeat. This kind of psychological strength doesn't show up overnight. It's built one intentional morning at a time. And the ones who have built it, those high performers, those billionaires, those leaders, they don't rely on willpower, they rely on systems. Their system is their daily habit. Their daily habit is mental conditioning. They don't leave their emotions up to luck. They decide what state they will operate from, and they lock into it before the world even wakes up. This is the difference between drifting through the day and dominating it, between reacting and leading, between burnout and resilience. The mind is a battlefield, and those who win in life are the ones who train for it every single day. Success doesn't belong to the chosen few. It's not reserved for the lucky, the gifted, or the ones born into the right family. That's the story people tell themselves to stay comfortable, to avoid responsibility, to make peace with mediocrity. But the truth is much simpler and far more empowering. Success is not some hidden secret locked away in a vault. It's a system, a repeatable, structured, disciplined process that anyone can tap into if they're willing to commit to it. The people at the top didn't get there because they had access to something magical. They got there because they followed a process with relentless consistency, even when no one was watching. What separates high achievers from the average isn't that they know something the rest don't. It's that they've taken what they do know and they've built it into a system they can run every single day. Systems create structure, and structure creates results. When you systemize your actions, you eliminate the need for willpower. You take emotion out of the equation. You stop negotiating with yourself about whether or not you feel like doing the work. You just do it because it's part of the process. It's the difference between amateurs and professionals. Amateurs wait for motivation. Professionals run systems. The people who succeed at the highest level know exactly what to do each morning. They know how to get into state. They know how to manage their energy. They know how to prioritize their time. They've mapped it out. They've refined it. They've tested it. Their life isn't driven by chance. It's driven by design. That design includes rituals, rules, disciplines, and feedback loops that allow them to grow, adapt, and stay consistent under pressure. And most importantly, they've made the system stronger than their excuses. Most people are addicted to chaos. They like the drama, the inconsistency, the unpredictability, because it gives them a built-in excuse for why they're not succeeding. But those who thrive eliminate chaos. They run toward clarity. They build systems to simplify the complex, to automate the essential, and to protect their focus. This is how they scale their performance without burning out. This is how they maintain momentum even when life gets heavy, because their process doesn't depend on how they feel, it depends on what they've committed to. Every successful business is built on systems. Every elite athlete runs systems. Every world-class performer has systems. It's not random, it's engineered, and anyone who's willing to put in the effort can do the same. It starts by identifying what matters most, then building a repeatable, daily rhythm that makes success inevitable. When you remove guesswork, you remove friction. When you remove friction, you gain speed. And when you gain speed with precision, results compound. That's the formula. That's the path. It's not hidden. It's not complicated. It's just that most people won't slow down long enough to build it, and most won't stay consistent enough to let it work. But for those who do, the system becomes unstoppable. Everything you experience in life begins with the lens through which you see it. Before a single decision is made, before any challenge arises or opportunity presents itself, your internal world, your thoughts, emotions, beliefs, and patterns is already shaping how you interpret, react, and move forward. That's why controlling your inner world isn't optional. It's essential. The most powerful individuals on the planet don't just focus on the external, the market, the money, the strategy, or the metrics. They focus on mastering their internal state because they understand that the outer world reflects the inner one. You can't control every event, but you can always control your response to it, and your response is dictated by your mental and emotional conditioning. In high-pressure environments, the The people who rise are not necessarily the smartest or the most talented. They're the ones who can stay grounded, clear, and focused in the midst of chaos. And that doesn't happen by accident. It happens because they've trained themselves to take command of their internal environment. They don't get hijacked by fear, self-doubt, or insecurity. They've learned to observe those emotions without becoming them. They know how to interrupt patterns, shift their focus, and choose a state that serves them. They're not robots. They still feel pressure, but they don't let those feelings drive the bus. They feel it, acknowledge it, and then lead themselves anyway. Every day, you are bombarded with information, opinions, negativity, and noise. If you don't filter it through a powerful internal framework, it will shape you instead of you shaping it. That's why the strongest people you know are often the most intentional. They don't just react to the world. They take time to center themselves before the world can get to them. Whether it's through morning rituals, silence, journaling, movement, or breathwork, they start their day by stabilizing their inner state. Because they understand this one truth: you can't lead anyone, build anything, or change the world if you're constantly being thrown around by your own emotions. You either run your mind, or your mind runs you. You either direct your focus, or it gets pulled in 1,000 directions. You either choose your emotional state, or you become a slave to every trigger. When your inner world is chaotic, it shows up everywhere. Your relationships suffer, your decisions get sloppy, your confidence collapses. You sabotage the very things you say you want because you haven't taken the time to master yourself first. And yet, when your inner world is solid, when you've done the work to get calm, clear, and powerful, everything shifts. You don't just think better, you feel lighter, you lead more decisively, you attract higher-level opportunities because you're operating from strength, not survival. The truth is, most people are reactive by default. They wake up and immediately consume the world, emails, notifications, social media, and within 10 minutes, they're already operating in response mode. They've given away their focus before the day even begins. But those who control their inner world know that how you start matters. They don't consume first. They create first. They set their state before anyone else has a chance to shape it. They choose gratitude over stress, vision over fear, and purpose over distraction. And they do it consistently because they know their emotional habits create their outcomes. Controlling your inner world is not about being positive all the time. It's about being aware. It's about being deliberate. It's about noticing the patterns and triggers that hold you back and replacing them with ones that move you forward. It's developing emotional agility so you can pivot quickly and stay aligned with who you want to be, no matter what happens externally. That doesn't mean the storms stop. It means you become unshakable within them. When you build the muscle of internal mastery, you stop chasing things to make you feel better. You stop waiting for validation. You stop needing everything outside of you to be perfect, because you've already created stability on the inside. And from that place, you don't just survive, you lead. You don't just manage stress, you convert it into strength. You don't just respond, you choose. That's what it means to control your inner world. It's a discipline, a practice, a decision you make every single day to lead from within before anything else has the chance to lead you. Most people are waiting for motivation to show up before they take action. They think they need to feel inspired, energized, or in the mood before they can start chasing their goals. But that mindset keeps them stuck. Because motivation is unpredictable, it's fleeting. It comes and goes depending on your mood, your environment, your sleep, or what someone else said to you. It's not something you can count on. The truth is, the people who get results, the ones who move fast, build big, and stay consistent aren't the ones who rely on motivation. They're the ones who understand that momentum beats motivation every single time. Momentum is created through movement. It's built by doing the thing whether you feel like it or not. It's the product of repetition, of showing up, of making progress even when it's small. One action leads to the next. One win leads to another. And that consistent movement generates a force that starts to pull you forward. It becomes easier to keep going once you've started. Momentum becomes your fuel, your driver, your advantage. The trap is in thinking you have to feel ready before you act, but readiness is a lie. If you wait to feel ready, you'll wait forever. Momentum doesn't require readiness. It requires initiation. You move first, and the emotion follows. You take action, and then the fire builds. You step forward when it's hard, and suddenly things begin to shift. Your energy changes. Your mindset sharpens. Your belief grows. It's in the doing that the power returns. High performers don't get more motivation. They generate it by staying in motion. They know that even on their worst day, they can take one step. Even when they're tired, distracted, or frustrated, they can do something. They don't aim for perfection. They aim for progress. They understand that momentum is a habit. It's built through standards, not moods. It's about deciding who you are and backing it up with behavior, no matter the conditions. Momentum builds confidence. Every small win, every completed task, every uncomfortable action taken, adds another layer to your internal strength. You start to trust yourself more. You start to feel more capable. And suddenly, what once felt hard becomes part of your rhythm. That's the power of momentum. It makes success feel natural. It makes action automatic. And the best part is, it's under your control. You don't need permission. You don't need inspiration. You just need to move. Motivation may feel good when it shows up, but it's unreliable. Momentum, on the other hand, is something you create. It compounds. It snowballs. It turns discipline into dominance. And once you have it, it's hard to stop. Because now, you're no longer waiting for the right moment. You've become the force that creates it. You can have the most powerful thoughts, the boldest dreams, and the clearest vision. But none of it matters if you don't act. What separates those who talk about change from those who create it is execution. Action is the bridge between ideas and results. You don't become great by thinking about greatness. You don't transform your life by imagining the perfect future while doing nothing in the present. Your destiny isn't shaped by your intentions. It's shaped by your behavior. It's not what you hope for, plan for, or even believe that defines your outcome. It's what you do. There are people who spend their entire lives stuck in their heads. They overthink, analyze, plan, and wait for the perfect moment. They consume every book, every podcast, every motivational video. They know what to do. They think about doing it, but they never follow through. And so nothing changes, because knowing isn't doing, thinking isn't building, wishing isn't working. The world doesn't reward thoughts. It rewards action. You don't get results from visualizing alone. You get results when you get your hands dirty, when you step into discomfort, when you show up again and again, whether it's easy or not. The people who create real change in their lives are the ones who take bold, consistent steps, even when it's messy, even when it's scary, even when they don't have all the answers. They understand that clarity comes through motion. You don't wait to feel confident. You earn it through repeated action. You don't wait for the perfect plan. You make progress and refine along the way. You lead with movement, not with mental rehearsal. And each step forward, no matter how small, sends a message to your brain. I'm becoming the person I want to be. Thoughts can inspire you. Beliefs can shape your lens, but actions carve your future. Every decision to push through resistance, to stay committed, to take responsibility, is a vote for the life you want. It doesn't matter how gifted you are or how deeply you believe in yourself if your actions don't align. Your habits build your identity. Your routines shape your results. The results you get are simply the byproduct of the standards you live by daily. Not what you say you'll do, but what you actually do when it counts. There is a clear pattern among the most successful people. They move, they act when they're uncertain, they take initiative when others hesitate, they fail forward and use experience as feedback. They don't get paralyzed by doubt because they've trained themselves to keep going. They've learned that progress is the ultimate form of clarity. Every action reinforces discipline, belief, and momentum, and when action becomes your default, not overthinking, not hesitation, you start owning your path. You don't just dream about the life you want. You step into it. You build it brick by brick, choice by choice, because your destiny isn't decided by your potential. It's decided by your patterns, and patterns are built through action.